What's up, everyone? Welcome into Patriots Press Pass. I'm Mariah, Janos, joined by Evan Lazar. We're talking N'Keal Harry this evening. An article was recently published that talked about N'Keal Harry's trainer and some comments that he had made in regard to N'Keal Harry's production this season. Now, you have a relationship with that trainer. You were able to speak with him not too long ago. And what did you get out of that conversation with him, Evan?
Yeah, so I spoke to Rashad Whitfield, aka the Footwork King, for people that might not know his real name. He goes by Footwork King on Twitter. And I think the first thing is that he did want to clarify that he doesn't feel that any of N'Keal Harry's shortcomings this year have anything to do with Cam Newton or Cam Newton's play or anything like that. This was a difficult season for first-year teammates. There was no training camp. There was abbreviated training camp, I should say. There was no OTAs. There was no install. There was nothing like that in the offseason because they just had to hit the ground running. And due to COVID, it was really the only time that N'Keal and Cam Newton got together before we got into camp in August was that 3 days at UCLA over the summer where they were able to throw against air. There's no defense out there. There's no opponent out there, and they're basically just throwing against air. So it's two guys, trying to figure each other out. And then on top of that, it's also, Cam's iteration of this offense going into place and things like that as well, and how different that was from everything that New England was running last year with Tom Brady. So a lot of changing parts in an offseason that was difficult to have that much change. The one thing that I do think Rashad, rightfully pointed out with N'Keal is that last year he kind of felt like N'Keal's confidence had been shot by how much he struggled as a rookie. And when you really look at the college game, these guys, they come up, these first-round picks especially, they go off in college, right? They have great college stats, they have great college production, and then they get to the pros and they get humbled a little bit. They go against some pro competition, they get humbled. And I think what Rashad was saying was ultimately what N'Keal needs is that dog in him, that fight in him, that nastiness in him, where he lines up against somebody and he says, I'm going to be a problem against you today. Physically, I'm going to impose my will against you. And not more so than anything to do with the quarterback is what Rashad is looking for out of N'Keal, moving forward, is that Des Bryant alpha male type of personality, because we know N'Keal can win 50-50 balls. We know he can use his size, but consistently being out there and showing that sort of alpha dog type of mentality is something that I think that is missing from his game right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And Cam Newton has been one of his biggest supporters all season long through all of the doubt that from the outside world and the media. Cam Newton has been N'Keal Harry's biggest supporter and has wanted to see him succeed this season for sure. Patriots Press Pass is presented by Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code PressPass20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com using the code PressPass20. Take the leap and join the Manscaped movement today. Now, enough of that trainer talk. Bill Belichick actually has spoken about N'Keal Harry recently, just about his progress over the past few games and getting involved a bit more. And he's liking what he's seeing. But Evan, what do you think N'Keal Harry's future is with this Patriots team?
Well, I'm liking what I'm seeing too in terms of his usage. Now, maybe it hasn't necessarily translated into huge games yet on the stat sheet, but seeing him against the Rams, two typical, N'Keal Harry type of plays, a 30-yarder, just a classic jump ball. He gets some separation with the double move, gets the defender on his back, and then Cam can just throw it as high as he possibly can in the air and let N'Keal Harry just kind of post up and use his size and jump over the defensive back for a big play. Then later on in the game, or earlier in the game, they came to that third down where N'Keal went over the middle and just kind of caught the ball with the oncoming safety and sort of shielded him from the catch point and went up to catch the pass. Those are the types of plays that the Patriots, if they want to get the most out of N'Keal Harry moving forward and want to try to kind of get something out of this draft pick, right, and try to change this tide around, that's the type of player that they need him to be and the type of usage that they need to use him in. I think sometimes in this offense, they get too caught up in making guys Julian Edelman like, right? Mr. Separator, the little guys with the great, separation quickness and the great agility and the kind of burst and sudden burst in tight spaces. That's not the type of player that N'Keal Harry is. So to get the most out of him, they need to. The Rams game, I think, is sort of the step in the right direction. The Charger game was another one where he caught the touchdown in the red zone where he just kind of boxed the guy out and used his body. If they use him like that, then I think that he has a role on this team. If that's not a type of player, the type of role that they want out of a receiver that plays as many snaps as N'Keal Harry, then maybe they will look elsewhere for somebody that's more of a natural separator. But if they allow N'Keal Harry to be N'Keal Harry, and I do think that he can be a complementary piece. Is he going to be that number one guy they were hoping? Probably not, but at least he can be somebody in the offense that can give him that size element where they have some other guys that are more smaller guys like a Damiere Byrd or an inside guy like a Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see what happens, what the future has in store for N'Keal Harry. For all of our Patriots coverage, head to clnsmedia.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel over at Patriots Press Pass.